You will own nothing, I'll be happy. It will happen. It's happening. Capitalism will die, so prepare yourselves. Am I evil first? Yes. Yes, because Americans are evil. Americans are way more evil than whatever the fuck this phrase can manifest. If you're American, please kindly get yourself banned in the comments by typing a one-liner that pisses me off. Thank you very much. Welcome to HEADSHOP. You hate all my opinions, and that's why I have to keep on saying them. Because there's nothing you can do about it. I own my opinions, I am entitled to my opinions, and your one-liners are not opinions. They're not based on anything. You just hate me. And desperately attempt to tell me about it. Except I don't give a fuck, because you are a pathetic American who owns too many things. But in order to do that, you're also getting scammed all the time. By the higher-ups, you pay more rent, you pay more insane taxes, and you talk about insurance and mortgage and all this nonsense that... How do you survive, guys? Tell me more about it. Alright, if you don't hate me, tell me, how do you survive? Maybe you don't. Maybe you are, finally, homeless, and actually own nothing, and you feel like that's what's happening. Well, no, America just sucks. It can do that. It can look very pretty, but it can also suck at the same time. That just like countries operate on their own different levels. Because America is big, it's split into different states, and states operate in different levels. But it's more like different vibes. California and Texas vibe are two different things, but it's all the same nonsense, basically. Now, I prefer country songs over rap songs, or crap songs, alright? I prefer this. This sounds better. I don't see a problem with this, to be honest. Tell me about it. Again, I don't want to be entitled to my opinion. I want to hear other people's opinion, you know? That's why I said it out loud. I might be entitled to my feelings, but that's why definitions matter. Like, you never know what's actually true. People sometimes just say things, say phrases, and they're not actually real. So we're going to talk about ownership and the future and what it actually looks like. Not clone, text clone, yes. We're going to talk about these two things and the pesky people who are so scared of the future because they're Americans. They don't know any better. They haven't tasted poverty yet. Yeah. Now, again, owning nothing is obviously the most extreme point of view. We have no idea what the fuck the guy means when he says it. But I know what the future looks like, and to me, this is a future prediction. You will. Right? You will own nothing in comparison to what you own right now. People want to own houses. Like, you'll be happy if you rent, but your rent is very low priced. Right? It's competitive priced. When capitalism becomes competitive, basically you don't want to own anything because everything is so fucking cheap. That's what would happen. It's not the other way around where everything is super expensive and everything dies all the time. Everything will be cheap. The other way around. The market has to crash because market makes no fucking sense. When market starts making sense, when people start playing the game of capitalism properly, as I investigated, it should fix capitalism. We don't have a perfect capitalism, that's why you get freedom. You get freedom right now. When we have capitalism, you get freedom. Why? Because you can get abused, and no one's gonna care. Alright? You go out into the wilderness, you take your risks, you get into a fight, you get yourself into debt, you drink yourself into, getting your phone stolen. Who the fuck knows? Getting roofied. Whatever. The risk is up to you. You get the freedom with all the risks attached. That's why I don't go outside. That's why it's scary out there, okay? Especially if you don't have friends, even though friendship is also a fucking risk, because people want to own your things, remember? They want to own your things because things are expensive nowadays. That's right. So, you're giving the freedom because you will fail. Because there's a lot of human beings that we have made when we didn't have freedom, when we had communism. See, I've learned the history of like definitions, not the human history, but the way they defined their history, right? The way it's kind of cycling around, and I can tell now. Freedom also means detachment from relationships. Most people have relationships just for the sake of money, for the sake of getting a number that gives them more freedom without risks, right? That's the thing. Money reduces risk significantly if you spend it correctly. You'll not starve, you'll have a roof over your head, you potentially will have more friends if you have money. It actually reduces risk of a lot of like problems that you might have if you have money. But if you're smart, you don't have to worry about money. Just do the smart decisions. You'll still retain freedom, right? One of the biggest ownerships is ownership of thoughts. And I have to say it out loud. You don't own my thoughts. Yes, I'm entitled. I also own my thoughts. And very likely, it's best to agree to disagree and not try and fight each other because I might not change my mind whatsoever. Especially if I'm an influencer and you're just a fucking jackass. Right? Probably I'm not going to change my mind. Probably nothing you can do. Even if I insult your favorite YouTuber, there's no reason to defend that YouTuber because they own more things than you do. Why? You're not envious. Are you a loser? Why are you defending people when you are a loser? You might get pushed to the side anyways. You might be a bigger loser. You took a strange risk. Mind you, you know, I'm really sorry. I'll have to ban a lot of you guys this year. Yeah. I own my thoughts, and ownership of thoughts is something you have to actually protect. If someone is actually invading your thoughts and being disrespectful, that's the start of ownership. The start of ownership always starts with your thoughts because that's the risk management mechanism in your head. You don't want to change anything too much, and people have to be respected for not wanting to change anything too much. Don't want to dive into freedom because, for fuck's sake, it's the better decision to do to have fuel for freedom, not actually perform it. Okay? Build fuel, build thoughts, build interests, but not actually get out there and suffocate yourself. Because again, when you take one freedom, see if that's what freedom is. When you take one freedom, you lose all the other ones. You want to retain thoughts, you want to retain ownership of something that unlocks all the doors, and you pick the best one at a given time. And you can just hop in and hop out. You have to have good brain to be able to perform freedom. All right? So if once people start doing the correct thing in capitalism, we will finalize it. All right? All of this is an introduction. I'll watch these clips. I know all of these three creators. I'll get a bonus thing in there because we need to know what's behind the scenes of what's the context of the phrase, all this bullshit. You don't need to know that yet. All right? You can watch Mudahar's face because he deserves it, and you don't have to watch Penguin's face because he does not deserve it. They know what they deserve to own, apparently. I love it. All right. When we finalize capitalism, when capitalism finally works and we reset all the monopolies appropriately, we say you're the winner. You get like consolation prize or something. Let me double check definition. Yeah, you get a small award for being the richest man. Basically, oh yes, we will read your tweets. Whatever, you'll be popular now. Like whatever, like he's a small amount of praise is going to be given to you, but you have to give away all your money, or we will cut you off from our society. Elon Musk, you're the richest, you're the winner. Choose. You get the reward, or we cut you off, and you can't spend any money whatsoever. All right? But then it's like, everyone believes in the money religion. I can still manipulate people as much as I want. Right? And it's like, but you killed the people. You destroy things. You're not a good person, Elon. Please. Consider yourself taking the price or taking the consequence. I mean, it's a choice. And give away at least half of your money, half of your assets, half of your ownership. Let's call it, okay? Please, let it go. See, when I see this, when I see manifestation of Elon, I would like him to own a little bit less. I would appreciate. Just own a little bit less, okay? You're inflating your Tesla stock by owning it. Yeah. Sell it. Don't worry about it. Well, you still can, because it might just tank by its own weight. You know, it's gonna be like, well, you didn't take the price, Elon. You didn't give a fuck. We'll have to take that away from... What's your biggest wish? Let's see if we can make it come true. We're the genie. You're the guy who wins Monopoly. Right? If you did it legally, of course, we still have to, keep you accountable for everything you did. That's right. We have to give you the biggest lawsuit at the same time before we declare you a winner of Monopoly, because you might have cheated. I don't know. That would be pretty bad. If you said a bunch of lies, a bunch of stupid shit, and someone actually, like Thunderfoot, wants to make you accountable for a lot of that shit. Like you are painted as a con artist. Maybe that's pretty bad. I don't know yet. Until we, make this ultimate judgment of Elon Boy. Thank you, Penguin, for introducing the Elon Boy. What would I do without you, bro? So capitalism finalizes again. The worst part of capitalism is monopolism. And if you don't understand that, you can leave. It's fine. You're stupid. You don't understand a fucking word. Monopolism is when someone plays the monopoly so you don't have to. They just hog the game. They hog an activity. They're the best. They have all the assets. They have all the competitors bought over. You're not allowed to get in and participate in a competition, in a healthy competition that runs capitalism. So capitalism is the opposite of monopolism. All right, monopolism predates on capitalism, basically, where everything flows into one creature. That's right. Remember the K-pop demon hunters? That big-ass demon? Yeah. That's Monopoly right there. If there's a big-ass thing eating, constantly hungry, constantly wanting attention and more power, well, I'm sorry, dude. That's Monopoly right there. Be careful with that shit. Don't give too much to just a handful of people. Because they will never stop. They will stop caring about you anyways. What's the point? We see it happen. We should have learned from these lessons. But that's why HEADSHOP drama exists. Because you don't fucking learn fast enough. Americans want to praise their celebrities. They're born with this kind of ideology like that. And it eventually turns into monopolism because the celebrity gets everything and you get nothing. Again, you will own nothing and be happy. You're doing it. You're doing, by defending rich people, you're doing it. Congratulations. Oh, did I insult Markiplier? Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, though? What are you gonna do? You're gonna bitch and moan and be angry at me that I did it. No, Markiplier should have better reputation, do better things, and then he won't get scolded by me. I only pick low-hanging fruit, nothing more, nothing less, you know? Low-hanging fruit, thank you very much. So if I chose something, it was for a reason. You can hate me if somehow I was unreasonable. But holy shit, do you have to keep an eye on everything I'm doing? Because finding someone unreasonable like me, like a smart person, it takes a lot of work. All right, and I don't think you should bother doing all this work. You know, don't worry about it. I'm teaching you guys valuable information, and just accept it for what it is. Stop trying to own it. You know, let it go. Ownership is like, yeah, you can own the pets, you can own the barking fucking dogs, but you will never own the birds. Alright, the birds will be free, no matter what the fuck you do. They're not capitalist, by the way. They're just, you know, winged creatures. They have to run away because they can. That's their thing. They have wings, not hands. Not big mouths, okay? You have to respect for what the world actually is and the world transforming into the next phase, which is beyond capitalism. For me, it's governism. For other people, it's authoritarianism. For the dumb fucking idiots, China is communism. Communist China exists. I don't know where that's probably back all the way when communism existed everywhere. So, and you forgot that China, like, exists right now. You know, it's keeps evolving. I don't know. I'm tired of people saying that, but I guess I will never fix that. Communist China, guys. Yeah. No, it's governism, and China is going to be pretty good at it. Let's face it. It's a hint of what it looks like, right? Do you feel like you own stuff when you own a smartphone? Is that a lot of ownership? That's not a lot of ownership, guys. Alright, you also don't own AI most of the time. You won't be able to own AI. Someone else will own that. And that's tough. Because they can tap into your data. It's not encrypted. And it's like, it's easier that way. It is what it is. The RAM prices are going up. Uh-oh. Owning things is getting more and more expensive when we're hogging it, when we're discovering new things that we want. Oh shit, the gold prices can spike up. Any new technology can show up and just spike anything. Spike anything. Or Bitcoin can show up and spike itself. Itself produce imaginary value. Or NFTs can show up, spike, and then go down all the way to zero and be completely uninteresting to anyone. I'm surprised Bitcoin is not doing the same thing, but people are clinging on it as a functional system, while NFT was just a hype, right? So which one is it? Doesn't matter because that's a product of capitalism that's not functioning. We would know. That's the point. Governism is about education and a long-lasting education, potentially permanent education, where you have to spend at least one day a week educating yourself on the news, on the new information, on just like talking to AI and making sure everything is in order, doing a test over here, test over there, because you're constantly applying to better jobs, better places, more prestige. It's gonna be, like you will be guided into a better position in life. That's what governism is about. It's constant guidance. Constantly you getting information, you're learning things, right? And you must not stop. Because if you go back, there's a rolling boulder that crushes people. People who do not learn and do not accept education, they will be crushed by the past, by the viruses, by the errors of their way, by outdated behavior. You will be the software in the future. But you must accept the installations, the new updates, constantly. So technically, you might not even need to own a computer. Since you will be the software, you will need education almost everywhere all the time to update yourself. Like, things are constantly changing. You have to know what changed. Be aware. Reduce your risk. And escape all the predators that are falling behind, because evil is always a few steps behind. In order to do evil, there has to be a justification. You're too slow, right? The predator comes in, snatches one of your, let's say friends, and you have to say goodbye. You gotta keep moving. You didn't learn. You did not learn. Someone fell behind, got snatched, it's over. And you hopefully now you learned, okay? The rest of the pack has to really take it in that one of theirs has been snatched. You gotta learn. Governism, guys. Constant learning, constant education. You must not fall behind. You must not think that you made it. There's no fucking rest. You can sleep. You can have your fucking time, but you have to dedicate that one day a week not to go to church, no religion, don't worry about it. You're still free from dogmatism or whatever, right? So you're not going to be brainwashed, but you gotta learn to do better every single time. Just like the drones are coming in, the new war technologies, like all this bullshit, you had to keep up now. And everyone is enlisted into this. Either you feel like you're enlisted or you're gonna fall behind. You're gonna slack. And I want to see that, to be honest. There's a lot of evil people that we want to just like get rid of right now. Just wash away. Noah's flood. It happens every 30 years. So, who would have thought, right? Who would have thunk that God makes Noah's flood happen very, very often, because Noah's flood is simply the change of seasons, but across like tremendous amount of years, decades. All right, the world changes. So we finalize capitalism, we establish it, we are locked in on how it works. It's all solidified because we also sprinkle a little bit of education as well. We point finger of like how you operate in capitalism. We explain everything, right? Everything becomes so much more clear. And we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to give you freedom anymore. All right? And that's where the phrase comes from. You probably shouldn't own it too much, and you'll be fine. the mild version. The spiky version that you have heard, this is the spiky version to get your attention, to get you talking about it. It worked. The guy knows what he's doing. He's old. You gotta respect that shit. Okay? So, yeah. You'll have less freedom. You'll have less ownership of things. Absolutely. That's just the future. That just makes sense. This guy can't shut up about it. That's why I'm here. Right? I am here to explain it to you. That it's just how it's gonna work, especially for the next generation and the next generation afterwards. Right? And most importantly, we get to kick boomers' ass because they're clinging onto ownership. They're the assholes. Alright? Not the weak people like us. The boomers who get to reap the, reap the benefits of existing in capitalism with maximum potential, right? The owners, my parents, the evil people, okay? The slackers. Evil in comparison to me. I mean, why do I have to have the parents? I was not able to trade my parents. I was not able to negotiate with my parents too much. They're just falling behind and pissing me off, but owning all these things. They still, as boomers, they own all these fucking assets. It's the boomers that have it. And the world order has not changed for a very long time. The boomers stayed in ownership, and that's just how it works. Nothing fucking changed. In fact, their assets keep going up in value because there's so many children that got shit out and they're still getting manipulated to this day. No matter how old they are, I can say I'm 30 years old. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm still a child. I'm still treated like a child. I'm still getting punched by every single fucking boomer from every single angle. And no one's helpful in that matter. No one's respectful. No one understands what the fuck they're doing. They just own things. So it would be a lot better if you let go and show a middle fucking finger, because it is important for you to participate and say, I don't want people to own too many things. You don't have to worry about it because you probably don't own many things anymore since the boomers do it for you. But if the consensus is loud enough, we can get the boomers to fucking stop doing stupid shit, right? You would want that. So yeah. Start killing boomers and stop the boomers in general, all right? Start killing boomer ownership. We gotta get those paws up, But the moment when it like truly matters, right now it doesn't fucking matter, whatever. You can have it. You deserve it. You own it for so long. You made a mess out of yourself. It's shit, and I would want to hear more stories in the comments. That's what I want to see in the comments, not some bullshit of how mad you are. That you transitioned into a tree and voted for Trump. I mean, you can do both. Wow. So now we go to the list of idiots that talk about, I swear to God, list of idiots. No other definition applies, okay? The idiots because they can't comprehend what the fuck that means. They see it happening, but I want to be popular. And the popular thing is we want to own a bunch of things. But just because you want something, does that mean you beat the boomers? Yeah? No. Boomers are not getting challenged whatsoever by freedom, by people's freedom. You're not gonna challenge them with freedom, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Now, it is kind of a weird thing of why freedom solidifies ownership. I feel like there has to be something sacred about freedom. Now that we own things, go touch grass. You can own some grass. when you go outside. You know, again, it's the boomers potentially scarier than you can possibly imagine when you put all the puzzle pieces together of how they manipulate you and how they manifest all the memes, all the culture, all the fucking stupid shit. And sometimes maybe even like you protecting celebrities is you actually protecting your parents who told you to get a job, you know, who just manipulate you because you don't own nothing. You own nothing. You're born into this, and it's like, I own you. I own you. You're always being scolded for not owning anything until you're 18 years of age, and now you please own something, child. Please go out there and start owning things. I am so disappointed in you. They continue the bullshit because they indoctrinated you into the ownership fucking religion, basically. It's ridiculous. And then you see of like, well, celebrities can own things. That means that's possible. That means that if I don't own things, I'm just a loser. It's as a skill issue. You know, you still continue indoctrinating yourself, but you have freedom. You're not giving anything but freedom. That's the exchange. The boomers get to own stuff. They give you freedom in exchange. They tell you to do things, but they don't give you the fucking instructions, meaning that you have freedom of saying that, oh, I failed to do that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I failed. I failed to get a job. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just not do that anymore because I failed. Just say that. That will piss them off because you did it. You did it your way. They didn't give you instructions. What can you possibly do? Oh, oops, I failed. Oh, oopsies. Uh-oh. Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about every single job that I applied to. You just sit down next to a boomer. Okay, let me say I applied to this thing, and I was thinking about, like, wow, it's going to be like this and that, and I just get no response. Then I will apply to this other thing, and then you list 1,000 jobs you applied to, and the boomer will have to cry in the end of the fucking story because that's all they can do. They own a lot of shit, and they look at it, it's like, I bought my house for $500. I don't know, man. Bro, apply to 1,000 jobs, that's a job. That was a job this whole time. I didn't fucking notice. He was working so fucking hard. Oh my god. They give you freedom through not giving you instructions of how to do things. How to do anything. Because they don't fucking know. The world is opening up through the internet. Nobody knows what the fuck to do and how to do it. They can just tell you to do things. Please. Figure it out, bro. But they're shitting their pants when they say that because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They have no idea what's going on. They're not updating themselves, and they don't give a fuck of doing that, and they're not being challenged. That's what's going on. That's the crisis that we're in right now. You got the freedom, but you also got the fucking abuse from people who expect you to do things. And I don't want you to manifest the same energy because it's not going to work on me, is it? It's only going to work on you. Nobody else will give a fuck that, oh, every person should have a job. Every person should have a girlfriend like me. And no one's going to give a fuck, dude. No one's going to give a fuck. Because you can lose what you own the way you got it. And you can own things that are not actually worth as much as you are portraying. Only when you're happy about, honest about it. We can talk about it, we can investigate what's going on. But until then, I'll assume the worst is the case. That you were pressured by boomers to chase your dreams. You found some fucking garbage. You open your mouth and it's a gobble, gobble, gobble. And now you're suffering from stomach pain. But you still put up a smile, take a picture, look how good my food looks like, and move on with your life. because you don't want to interact with anyone. You have a stomach pain. You know, I'm too afraid to talk to people. Again, ownership of thoughts is the only thing that matters. And to embrace ownership of thoughts is to upload the damn thoughts on social media. What the fuck are you doing, idiots? You're failing. You're failing the only thing that matters. Alright? Okay. Good luck. Good luck without thoughts. I don't know how you'll survive in the perfect capitalism without thoughts. I don't know how you will be able to breathe, eat, put on clothes, tie your shoes. You need thoughts. You need a direction in life. I mean, I can borrow you some thoughts, but you'll have to give it back. I can lend you some thoughts, you know? And again, it might sound stupid for you until capitalism is finalized. And you understand the foundation, because if we finalize something, we also have to establish the strongest foundation ever. The foundation is you own your thoughts. No one can take your thoughts away from you. You generate your free will, your fantasy, your dreams. You generate your directions, your desires, your passions. You generate that, and that's valuable, and that's ownership. You can write it down. And that's where it starts, right? Manifesting your thoughts come out into the real world and have to be respected just as equally as the thoughts in your head. The things you create has to be also respected. And then you demand respect. You work very hard for more and more respect, and it just keeps going. Keep escalating. And no one can stop you. That's an unstoppable force. You owning your thoughts is the unstoppable force. Zero risk involved. All right? That's the way you win this game, by taking zero risk plays. So the first thing to appreciate is your thoughts. All right, let's check the thoughts of people who uploaded thoughts, unlike you, loser. All right, get yourself banned.
Good news, Tesla will switch to a monthly subscription and remove the one-time purchase option.
What a nice guy.
Another era where you...
What do I think about subscriptions and what's going on, right? Again, it's monopolism. And you can see Elon is kind of playing into the monopolism. He owns a... but the way that you play out, like, it's very interesting, actually. When, right now, capitalism is not established, and shady practices, which are happening all over the world... and smells like corruption everywhere, and it's like, government, why are you not doing anything about it? And sometimes government itself sells itself off. The shady practices are right now everywhere. It's the end game of capitalism. There's 2 more years left. It's literally on the fucking tip of fully establishing, because once we finish the shady practices, when we catch all the stupid people who are trying to abuse the system, basically. They're stupid because they're evil. You know, they don't give a fuck. They just want more money. They just subscribe to their religion. They don't actually live life. When we actually catch all the shady practices and bar them from entry, that's when capitalism finalizes, right? Because there's no cracks, there's no loopholes. We just catch all the criminals the moment they happen. No one can steal anything. And then there's no charity. Because if you can steal something, we give charity to you. Like, why? Go to work. Be productive. Be a good citizen. Right? That's necessary. Learn how capitalism works. All right? Get yourself educated. What available jobs there are. One of the most insane, like, there's 2 disconnects. Jobs are not fun, and education doesn't provide jobs. 2 disconnects. I think we have to patch this first before we tackle the shady practices. But we have 2 years, so how do we do that? I have no idea. We still haven't patched it, and I smelled it like before COVID, so what's going on? Those things have to be patched before we can actually enter governism, and if we don't patch it, I will call extension. I'll extend the apocalypse, personally. I can't fucking stand this shit. But at the same time, it's, apocalypse also kind of numbing me down, making me sick. I don't know if I can extend it, personally. Because the shady practices sometimes can be just buying a loud instrument and pissing everyone off. It's like, oh, you're entitled to listening to loud music in your apartment at night when all the neighbors can hear it. No. What the fuck is that? Is that ownership? Is rape just ownership? I don't... Man, that's weird. Is violence just ownership of the other person? Are we going back to slavery where we just, like, we can beat up our slaves and tell them to do whatever we want? I mean, I don't know, man. That's what it is, in the end. If you can own violence, if you can get away with it, that's the worst part of capitalism. You can't let that happen. But to capitalism to flourish, like, people need to be able to access the jobs and manifest jobs. And the best way to do it is competition. All right, a lot of competitive stuff. So maybe I can just make it happen. Like, I see two problems, I can just fix them by myself, even though it fucking stinks. But I'm planning to be alive for the next 30 years, so sure, I can do it. I can fix whatever the fucking's broken. It's not like Mr. Beast makes jobs fun, because jobs fun means you have access to it. You don't have access to Mr. Beast games. Wow, so fun. Such a fun competition. Again, technically it stems from like it's a logic puzzle in a way. Like, how do you make jobs fun? So I can fix that. If you know any information about it, please let me know, because we should get that done. All right, and there's something also shady about just like stock markets. Am I wrong? It's weird, man. I feel like that's where the most jobs are, and AI has to just steal all of it from people. Yeah, you can see AI is stealing a lot of jobs. You will own nothing. You will barely have a job if AI steals that. But yeah, while AI transitions in, we need the fun jobs, and technically you can see it coming in. Just like generate stuff, and that's a fun job. Like, making games is a fun job technically, but it's very difficult. But when it becomes like easy, it's gonna be fun, because you can manifest whatever you want on a computer screen. That's pretty cool, right? And when we have all the fun jobs, then we stop focusing so much on them, because they're actually quite complicated right now. So I do think it's gonna like patch itself up better and better, like over these 2 years. It should happen. I'll definitely contribute quite a bit. Again, keep an eye on my engine. I'm trying to simplify workflow, as they say. So going back to the subscription model, that's a shady practice. All subscription models are a shady practice. Every single one. You should be able to just insert dollar bills and forget about it. Not like you're being leached constantly. I still pay YouTube Premium because I don't want to be leached in terms of ads. They threaten you basically of like, we will serve you ads. We will serve you AIDS, basically. We have freedom to rape and plunder, as they say. All these corporations, because they have the power of the monopoly within them. And again, you have to look at it like, say, this guy just licked Monopoly's ass by saying subscription. That should say everything you need to know. He licked Monopoly's ass. He is disqualified for the rest of the year. All right, from just trying to convince you about anything. He licked someone's ass, bro. What the fuck? I mean, Elon Musk already established a subscription model on X. And it's like, well, that's how they get money. But Twitter fucking sucks. It's a toxic, shitty place. And just that alone, just that subscription model should have also been an ass-licking moment to disqualify him from 2024. Just like that's all it takes, you know? A subscription model sounds like it's the worst ass-licking of Monopoly ever invented. So whatever Penguin is talking about is like the tip of the iceberg, you know? It's the best of the best.
You can't even pay for the full automobile. You have to subscribe separately for...
I'll tell you this again. The current day and age, you own nothing and you're not happy. So the only thing that's gonna change is you will own nothing, but you'll be happy. All right? Again, with the smartphones, you can see the future. But there's greater technology than the smartphones, and it's probably going to be cheap. You just buy it one time, no subscription. Uh-oh, no subscription? How could that be? You know, you're getting indoctrinated, but you get the technology. You'll own not much else, but you'll still be happy. You know that. You know that, bro. Anime waifus.
For the full
AI generated.
Features. It's in every single aspect of your life is becoming subscription-based.
This is a bubble. It's definitely a subscription bubble because it's the scariest thing and it's easy to boycott. So easy because it's so pathetic. Just because food is a subscription model doesn't mean I subscribe to food. I want to buy food the way I want to buy food. Even though I get hungry, right? It's always the most optimal thing to unsubscribe, then resubscribe. Bam, bam. But until there's convenience for it, it's always the shady practice, right? They always leave the convenience behind just because they're lazy and greedy. But they will have to bring it back. And if government wasn't lazy as well, it would ban subscription models immediately. All of them. Forever. No mercy. If government was actually honest, no mercy, no subscription models. Now the question would be, how could you possibly do that? There's a perfectly good exchange model, the top-up model. All right? You top up your semi-subscriptions, and you go. You run out of money in that particular subscription because you used it. Again, they collect data to see if you're using it, blah, blah, blah. You have the smart meters, whatever, for everything. That used to be a subscription model. Smart meters, top-ups. Yeah. It's the acceptable thing. All right? It's because you are being informed. When you are subscribing to something, you're not being informed in any way. Unless you actually looking at it. Of how you're getting leached. To the point where the selling point is of like unsubscribe with this subscription app, basically. Subscribe to this app so you can unsubscribe from all the other things and save $300 a year. Oh my goodness.
We are into wipe that shit.
Again, top up would give you access to ownership whenever you feel like it, but if you use it for too long, of course, give me more money. That's it. And some people just want to own it for the sake of owning it. Maybe they will play it, they might not play it. In fact, again, when you introduce a mid model, and it's not toxic anymore, a lot of it is gonna just trickle down into the top-up model, right? When people are contemplating subscription, but they don't want to commit because it sounds shady and greedy, it's gonna trickle down when a new model is introduced, and it's a competitive one. It should be introduced soon enough, right? Yeah, I see it in AI. websites, they have the top-up model. Almost all of them. You get tokens, basically. They know what's up. They're introducing that in your face. So pay attention, guys. It's happening.
Shit out.
The switch is happening.
Like every person should have.
The thing is, the top-up model is potentially so successful, or like being very successful right now, it's gonna take over. It's gonna knock out all these fucking Elon Musks of the world who lick ass.
With this kind of
breaking news: Elon Musk just licked ass.
Tesla, with model here from Tesla. But because it's Elon Musk and people can't help but swallow his meat, it's an addiction.
But because it's Penguin Zero,
or severe than.
Am I right?
They somehow people are willingly bending over and applauding as.
Well, I have to say, Penguin, welcome to the head shop. You made it. Tell me what you want to buy. Which head should I chop? You know? Besides Elon Musk, I mean, you get an extra. Buy one, get one free, you know? Let me know. Well done. You got it. You got the idea of HEADSHOP, you know? When people are unable to correct themselves because their identity is Elon Musk.
As these billionaires
I am Elon Musk.
Like, as they get just infuriating. Because they worship this guy, they're willing to just roll over and just abandon what they pretend to believe in. It's glamour. Why does he believe that teachers that are teaching students something that he doesn't like means that it's treasonous and should have them landed?
Because teachers have a job, not free speech. Like, relax, dude. We have, that's one of the democracy things that we dictate the government, and the government has to fix the fucking education system. It is treasonous, right? You should go to jail. Just to be in jail for a little bit, you know? Don't worry about it. Just, say hi to cellmates, teach them something. You know, I would love teachers in jail. What's your problem, little bitch?
In the big house.
Don't get head shopped, okay? You're on the other side of the border, but the stakes are higher.
That's a little fucking odd. That feels like a go about it, but no.
Damn, if Penguin is going after Elon, it's over, dude. Elon has the worst enemy ever.
Nothing weird.
Who likes having enemies, man.
Is going to revolutionize the fabric.
So now Israel is being dragged into this free speech thing where Elon apparently doesn't care about. He sides with Israel. I love it. What a mysterious creature Israel is. I do hate hatred. I do ban people. You know, I can relate to this to some extent. I don't know what it is yet.
Democratic countries, they're happening. You're seeing the polarization in countries that allow for the First Amendment and protect it, which is great. And I know it's.
I will talk about it because if he says it's annoying, I know. Although I sprinkle it all over the place because you have to get banned because you don't use free speech, and I have to remind you that I don't need your speech anymore, right? You're not using it. You use your free speech in order to, like, you have the freedom of saying anything at all. Anything at all. But some speech does have consequences. You must have to understand, right? You have to try and find where that speech is acceptable, basically. And again, it's already limited. Again, only half of the comments, because if you type in slurs, basically, YouTube automatically blocks your shit. And it's not like YouTube is not free speech. It's absolutely free speech. Look at me. Look at me. There's so many words coming out of my mouth. Right? I don't feel cornered. And that's the most important thing about free speech. The fundamental concept is you don't have it's better to not feel cornered, that you have to say things a certain way, avoid certain words, all this nonsense. It's best if you don't feel cornered. Now, in the comment section, it's best to avoid certain words, and YouTube is not very nice about it. It's definitely 50% free speech in there. But it's trying to protect, you know, it's limiting free speech for the commenters because it's trying to protect the creators. It's understandable, unfortunately, given this context. I don't know what his context is.
Difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment, to protect it.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard. but thank you for sharing.
Don't worry about it. It's not that stupid, buddy.
It is refreshing.
Oh yeah, I'm also not a billionaire, by the way, and I can see the other side,
We
so...
need to express themselves on.
He gave a whole different context. The context of the future. The authenticity of users. That's important. Like, what the fuck? Penguin, that's the dumbest thing you ever heard? You're the bad guy now. You're getting fucking dunked. What is wrong with you, bro?
Oh, now that's a really interesting play there. Yeah, it's like a fucking high-level football maneuver right there. John Madden level. Like, this is a...
Also, only Americans talk about free speech, but they don't actually use free speech. It's a lie. Their law is a lie. They don't have much free speech at all. They limit their own free speech all the time. By trying to be nice, you limit your free speech. That's what happens all the fucking time in America. I don't limit myself. But what gets limited is everyone hates me for some reason. Everyone still, if they're in America, they're still limiting my free speech. You're not free speech, guys. You're not standing for free speech. Shut the fuck up, idiot.
It's a pretty big
What the
statement
fuck is
here
wrong
that
with
is
you?
very clearly accounts...
When you put free speech on the table, it's the most hypocritical thing that stinks up the whole place because you're probably the problem. The person who pressed the alarm button of like, there's not enough free speech, you're probably the problem, to be honest. It's such a tough topic to crack. It's so insane. But again, authenticity, like, now AI bots are all over the place. You gonna let them manipulate you? We need to start moving. The boulder is rolling. We need to bring authenticity. But we also need to encourage people to educate themselves and upload content and own their thoughts. That has to happen. There's no escape. He's talking to a bunch of fucking nobodies, and nobodies are like, oh, yes, you have interesting thoughts? Elon Musk is bad. Billionaire is bad. They say stupid shit. But the reality is quite different, isn't it? It's true. Like, authenticity is going through the window. We need to be able to label what is AI, what is fake, and what is a real human being who has owned thoughts. That's the whole fucking point. If you own thoughts, it's easy to decipher that you are original human being, not copy-pasted from somewhere else or automated or generated. For fuck's sake. Is it so hard to understand, little penguin boy?
that just have some like dog shit that they drivel out, and he'll reply to them about free speech.
Eat my dog shit.
This was a or anything, so maybe he is a...
Another thing, the government will always introduce ideas in the most outrageous manner, but democracy is above government. Or what we know as the ultimate socialism. Right? Democracy is above government. Democracy is not protesting so the government works harder. That's not democracy. That's just fucking retard nation. Democracy is us working together to patch the holes ourselves so the government does not have to interfere. That's the actual democracy. If you forget the definitions of things, I'm sorry, bro, we'll have a hard time.
able to lobby.
We'll have to thread the needle instead of automating the process.
You know, for I have no fucking idea. What I do know is that he is saying this out loud in front of everybody, and yet the free speech guy, Elon Musk, has nothing he wants to say about that.
I want to say that you're stupid, Penguin.
I don't know.
Control over.
What? Is he pulling the H3 of like, hey, Elon Musk, you should have said something about this? You know, what? Get out of here, dude. IDubbbz, you should have said something about this and about that. Oh my god, how dare you not say things and defend me and defend free speech and whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Maybe for the first time, Elon Musk is like, yeah, authenticity is a problem. I don't know what to say to people, actually. See, Israel, I mean, it's not just, I can see it, right? Maybe Israel is made out of smart people who can, like, put you in the corner of, like, yeah, you like free speech, but have you considered this? And it's like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Then they pee their pants, and it's like, man, I don't know if I can support free speech. And it's like, And maybe Penguin got Elon Musk by the balls, but I also got Penguin by the balls, so feelings mutual, unfortunately. Feelings mutual. We did not successfully attack Elon Musk at all.
What they are saying based on that,
Just a chain.
the government.
It's a mentipede.
Yeah, people against NICE and government need to develop cyber defense programs that are as sophisticated as the cyber attack. Today it's a 1-to.
They need it. We might not have to use it, but they need to have it.
100
Okay?
ratio.
I figured I'd let him finish his stance here on limiting the First Amendment.
I will let him finish. Yeah, because that's context. Kind of necessary, isn't it? Not something you care about.
About how
Clearly.
everything needs to be controlled by the government. It once was any longer. Sounds pretty shitty to me. I hate that. I think that's fucking terrible. But
And that's why democracy exists, so we can find a better solution than what the government is going to introduce. All right? That's it. Bottom line.
I mean, Elon Musk is a busy weeks to tweet out a day, so maybe he just didn't see this one, or maybe he had drafted a few.
Oh, maybe he didn't see it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm still, a fanboy. Maybe he just didn't see my DM, so he didn't reply to what I care about. Wah, wah. That's how it sounds like. It's ridiculous, guys. Your influencers suck balls.
Forgot to send because 20 Charlie. I would say free speech is one of the most important rights Americans have, and it
Absolutely. They just don't like using it very much.
makes me a little concerned that I'm seeing.
Didn't even mention AI. He doesn't even care, What the fucking loser you are. You literally got AI kind of abused, talk about it all the time, but this time it just kind of slipped, I write into your DMs, like, please mention AI, and maybe you just didn't see it. Maybe you're just that stupid. See you guys next time. There's more to come. You can see head shopping is hard work. People say stupid shit all the time. Fuck! Stupid reputation is on the line, buddy. He wasted my time and I literally couldn't even squeeze a scary video.